Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel. In today's video you join me to do an oil change on the S80. Now I promised this video in the last video, so let's get on with it. I'm not going to do too much talking because I've done a few videos on this before, but it's just sort of going to be a video of me doing it, I suppose, rather than talking you through it. We've got Castrol Edge here, for those you haven't seen last video, 6 litres of that, MAN oil filter, just some handy funnels here so we don't make a mess of our clean engine bay that I cleaned the other day. We've got our Draper socket set and our 36mm sockets, and of course our oil extractor. So we're using the extractor method today. We've fitted the police style D5 dipstick so that we can do this. Really makes so much more sense. Mercedes main dealers now use this method. So many people use this method. So yeah, this is the 107,000 miles now. I think I changed the oil last at 102,000. So yeah, 5,000 or so miles between the last one. I didn't put that one on here. I don't think you guys want to see me changing my oil every 3 months, but yeah, let's get on with it. Forgot to say as well, I've just warmed the car up. We've been for a quick spin around the block, which is something really important for any oil change, let alone one with an extractor, because the hotter oil flows far easier and allows the oil to be extracted quicker. Basically, it just makes the whole job quicker. So yeah, if your engine's too hot though, you can bend the plastic tubes that go in, so bear that in mind. We don't want it roasting hot. I've got the two most important tools to tell you about, which is toilet paper, gloves, just to wipe up any sponges, etc. So this is a particularly messy job using the oil extractor, but I always still seem to find a way of getting it on my hands. So having gloves on makes it far easier to keep clean if I work out which way they're meant to go on. So that is the extractor setup. We'll just remove the dipstick like so. Get the finger out. I'm going to wipe that down and set it down on the front here, so it's somewhere nice and easy to find again. Just going to set it down here, over here, so it doesn't fall down in there. Right, we're going to insert the extractor tube now. Just want to keep going really until it sort of hits a stop. Now if you push it in too far, it can bend round under the sump and cause a few issues. So that's that going. Let's just give it a pump, a couple of pumps really. The oil starts to come out. There you go. There we go. I can see the oil coming out here, slowly the level moving up. So this is 6.5 litre capacity. So each one of these rings represents a litre, so we can work out exactly how much we've taken out, so we can then put exactly that amount back in. These cars are quite sensitive to their oil levels, so that's why I like to measure what comes out to put the exact same back in, otherwise you get the engine service required light. Next we'll do the oil filter, while that's going. I've gone for the MAN filter. Just like to have a small extension, and our 36mm socket this is. We're just going to break it loose. There we go. It shouldn't be hard to undo. This should only be 30 Newton meters, which is hand tight really. If you have them too tight, they just get stuck on. You don't really gain anything. So now that's loose, what we're going to do is we're going to just put some toilet roll in here, because Volvo in their infinite wisdom placed the alternator right underneath the oil filter, which obviously makes the oil filter nice and easy to reach, but means that you can leak oil down into the alternator, which you don't really want, believe it or not. It's a new way to require or an easy way to require a new alternator quite quickly. So that's that. So finish this off by hand until it's completely, there we go. And I'm going to get my box ready as well for the new filter. Give it an O-ring here. That's important to replace as well, and I'll show you guys how to do that now. We'll do that first actually. As you know, take the new filter out, place it on the side, because what you're going to want to do is, with this disgusting old filter, you're going to want to place it in the box here, disconnect it from here. It should just unclip like so. And we're going to place this on the ground because it does leak. Now, the replacement O-ring that you get is this one in here, which isn't the easiest to get out. There's a small tab, but can be a bit of a pain, especially because it's covered in slippery oil. So just want to get that out. There we go, just like that. We're going to place that in our little box as well, from the used one. Now with diesels you can smell sort of a burnt oil smell. It's not, that's perfectly normal. That's sort of the diesel smell. So we're going to replace the O-ring now. So I'm going to place that there for you guys to see. Give my gloves a wipe off as well. Quick tip for fitting this O-ring is that you want to oil it first. So what I do is I just run my finger around the inside of this filter housing, try and get as much oil as I can. They come with sort of a talcum powder on, so you want to oil them so they seat properly. So just completely cover it. Obviously it's going to get covered in oil as well. In here, I'll take some from in here, that's better. Get a nice thick coating of oil on here, and now we're going to seat it in the housing nice and simply. That actually fits perfectly, that one. Just use your thumb, or you can use a sort of needle nose pliers or a screwdriver if you're careful. Just coat it round. There we go, that's fitting in really nicely. So now we're just going to fit the filter, which again is fairly simple. It's this way up with the manufacturer stuff up here, and that should just clip in nicely. No, it won't, because I've actually removed the clip in the other filter, so bear with me just a second. There we go, that should come off the other filter and sit in here nicely. So there you go, that fits in there, and now this will sit nicely. You can have it either way. Click in like that, and then literally it's just a case of tightening this back up now, and that is your filter changed. It gets a bit sort of grindy, just sort of keep going with it. I'm just going to wash my hands off, and then we'll tighten it up properly. Next time I'll use a slightly bigger extension so I don't bash the bodywork. Okay, so you don't want to go mad tight, just as tight as it will go, and then round sort of half a one like that. And we're well away there. So that's all held nicely, and you can remove the tissue here. Okay then, so as you can see, we're slowly climbing. We've had 3 litres out of the car already, soon to be 4. I expect it to get up to just over 6, so little ways to go yet, but yeah, it's nice and easy. At this point, you can do one of 2 things. You can go and chill, or you just tidy up things in the engine bay, have a good look around as well. I'm just going to wipe that off, but for those of you wondering why I'm wiping my gloves so much, it's because I hate having oily tools. I like to use these tools not without gloves on, so that's why I insist on wiping my hands down all the time. A bit weird, I know, but it means a lot when you come to use the tools next. They're not oily. Okay, so I discussed this in the engine bay cleaning video that I'm getting a bit of an oil seep here. So I'm just going to wipe this down now so that I can monitor how serious the leak is. If it's coming up over sort of 10,000 miles, not too concerning. If it's coming up over 15 miles, then we'd want to pay a bit more attention to this. But it looks to me just like the turbo oil return line sort of misting, so I'm not too concerned about that. It might be exhaust related, but yeah, I'll keep an eye on that and see. There's nothing on the MOT that says it needs looking at, but yeah, you can see that there's a black sludge building up there. Now what you can do to speed things up with these extractors is just remove the oil cap here. That essentially releases pressure, releases the vacuum that's created by the oil being sucked out, and speeds things up slightly. So we're on, what's that, 4.5 litres now. So yeah, we're getting there slowly. Okay, so that's just over 5 litres now. I've been waiting, I've checked tyre pressures just to make sure they're all okay, because we're getting some pretty random weather here at the moment in the UK. It's early January and 15 degrees, so very peculiar indeed. Obviously I set my tyre pressures when it was freezing, so it's going to make a big difference. The tyres are going to be naturally higher pressure, and if you go too high you can have too much wear in the centre of the tyre and essentially waste the tyre, or if you're having too low, if the temperature drops, the outside starts to wear, which again wastes the tyre. So I'll spread that wear nice and evenly and make sure that your pressures are perfect all the time. Okay, so when you hear this noise, that indicates that there's air coming now. So we're reaching the emptiness of the sump, if that makes sense. So what I'd like to do is just adjust until it stops, so you can make sure that you're getting all the oil, because when it stops that means the oil's over it and sucking it up. So we're nearly at 6 litres now. These cars, people report different things. Some say they're 5.5 litres, some say 6 litres. It just depends on sort of the spec of the engine. I'm pretty sure mine's 6 litres, but I'll just replace what comes out. You don't want to overfill these engines because, like I said, you get the rising oil level issue anyway, which is from incomplete DPF cycles. That can be a faff to sort out. It means you have to extract oil from the engine until it's the right level and then put a little bit in, and it's a bit of a, essentially you have to do this again without the full replacement. So yeah, bear that in mind. But yeah, we're getting there slowly. The level's rising up to 6. I think the oil's still going. Yeah, I can still see oil flowing. So yeah, but in terms of oil, I got this from Euro Car Parts with half price deals for the new year. So we've got our Volvo recommended 0W30 Castrol Edge A5 B5 as recommended here. Engine oil quality ACA A5 B5, viscosity 0W30, and then Volvo recommends Castrol. So I've always used Castrol, to be honest, in all my cars. Never had an issue with the oils. I've sent it away to a lab a few times and it's all come back perfect. I mean, it's not surprising because the oil's changed quite regularly in this car, but it's just nice to know that the oil's looking after your car as well. Now, all oils aren't made equal. If you want your car to last hundreds of thousands of miles, you need to be using premium oil. They just have better lubricity, they break down less, and just are better for your car in general, a bit like premium fuel really. Okay then, so as you can see, we've got just under 6 litres out and I'm fairly happy with that. The car wasn't full to start off with. Volvo, done a bit of research, Volvo have reduced the engine oil capacity to account for the rising oil levels. That's why you get varied numbers. So the in-car computer is happy between 5.5 and 6 litres. There's a little window. It's probably slightly smaller window than that, but that's when the car's happy, so that's when I'm happy. So we've got, yeah, 5 and a bit litres out, so I'm going to stick our 4 in and our 5, and then we'll top up as we need with this one here. Long-term viewers may know that I didn't previously, or haven't previously used funnels that much on the channel, but I thought, as I'd spent so much time cleaning the engine bay and I was so useless at pouring in engine oil, I I would get one for the sake of a few quid to keep my engine bay clean, to save me a couple of hours work of having to re-clean it. So let's give this a go. Already spilled some before we even got to the funnel, so that's not good, is it? Oh, there we go. Seize that off, and it drained in. Might have to move you guys so I can get better angle on this so I don't keep spilling it. Or I could just move myself, that's what I've done here. And it's, whoa, that was close, wasn't it? It looks like maple syrup or golden syrup, this. What noise. So we know that this entire 4 litres can go in without any need to be accurate. This is much easier than pouring it in without the filter. There we go, there's 4 litres in. Now let's get our 5th litre. Don't throw these away, because we can use them to put the old oil in to take to the local tip. Now these smaller bottles are much easier to manage when you're pouring in. So bung 5 litres in here. Which in theory should take a quarter of the time, shouldn't it? There we go, there's our 5 litres. Okay, so this one is where I need to be a bit more scientific. We're going to be probably sticking just over half of this in, and then we're going to check that the car's happy, or on the dipstick and in the car as well. That's important because there is a slight deviation between the two in terms of level. The dipstick is for the old pre-software update where the car was happy with 6.5. Now it's obviously only happy with 5 to 6, so we're going to bear that in mind. So that's probably 2/3 of that actually, so we might be bang on first time, which would be excellent, wouldn't it? So let's put that on there, like so. Just give it a wipe out so we're not dripping oil everywhere. It's lovely golden oil, this, just like that. I'll stick it in here for now so that any oil is caught in the plastic. We'll pop the cap back on. You have a slight bit of spillage. I'll just clear that up because it drives me mad. There we go. So that's all happy. I'm going to leave it to settle probably for a couple of minutes. Just let that oil drain down into the car. I'm trying to thread a needle, that. Leave that in there, and then we'll do an oil check. In the meantime, I'll probably pour this old oil into these containers. Okay, let's give this a go then. Just going to remove the top of the extractor pipe. This could get very messy indeed. try and contain this just by holding it there. Wish me luck, people. Gosh, it's going rather well. What you could do is you can keep a sample of this as well, put it in a jar, send it off to a oil testing lab. There's plenty of those around the country, and they will test to see how your oil's stood up to the amount of miles it's done. Oh Christ, we've only put a litre in. Okay then, so moment of truth. We're expecting it to be about halfway on the dipstick. That's where we want it. So we'll do our dipstick check here, and then we'll do the in-car check as well. So it's looking like we might need a bit more, but I'll do the in-car check as well. That'll be more accurate, won't it? Yeah, I think a little bit more. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's none. So it's just down on the tip there. But let's do the in-car check and see what it says. Okay, so in-car check we just do by starting the keying, pressing the hold, start stop, set the message, scroll our way through. Does it come on? Engine oil level okay. So we'll let that settle a little bit more. I am on a slant, so that might have something to do with it. And then we'll see what it says, but for now I'll tidy up. I've been brave and taking my gloves off as well. Look. Okay then, so the car's happy, the dipstick is showing where it should be, so let's give it a start. I haven't had to add any more, so that just shows how much the dipstick just needs the time. Oh, whoopsie. That was a good start, wasn't it? There we go. I didn't keep my foot on the brake for long enough. Now that already sounds much quieter. That sounds great, in fact. So we'll just take this off. See if we've got any. Yeah. Leaks from the filter, which we haven't. That's all nicely sealed, dipsticks in, caps on. The job's a good one. We've got a lovely Volvo ready for another 5,000 miles of motoring. To be honest, they last 18,000 miles on the service intervals. I'd just like to do mine sooner to make it last longer. But yeah, it's however many miles you feel comfortable with. But that sounds a lot better, especially inside the car. It's much smoother in here. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I don't suppose I can finish the video without having the engine cover on properly to finish the job. There we go. Finished. Let me know your thoughts in the description in the comment box below, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.